Okay, so chances are you've heard at least one of these songs, maybe, or maybe you've heard both of them. I know it's more likely you've heard Demons because it's a huge hit. Meanwhile, Monster is popular, but it's a bonus track from their second album, so it's not as popular as Demons. They both seem similar at first, but they're actually completely different songs. So this video is just comparing them. There's no such thing as a song that is better or worse. There's no black and white, yes or no, right or wrong. Everything's pretty gray, and it's all open to interpretation. So this is all just opinions and, I guess, analyzing. There is no right or wrong answer here. Anyways, I'm gonna jump into it. How do you know that these songs are different? That's something I had to ask myself when I was doing notes for this video. One thing I used was a method called the power of the weave, and it's not really a real thing. I made it up on my own, kind of going off the cuff here. Basically, there's a movie, an anime movie. It's called The Boy and the Beast, and my sister showed it to me a couple months ago. And basically, right after we were done watching it, she kind of just looked at me. She's like, "This is literally just like the song Monster, literally." And even while we were watching it, I was kind of freaking out with fangirl moment because I thought of the song Monster while we were watching it, and I'm a huge fan of Magic Dragons, and she is as well. But then while I was working on this video, I realized, okay, Monster applies to the movie in terms of the themes and character development and the plot and whatnot. But is Demons applicable? And the answer is yes, but not as much. And that is one way of knowing that these songs are different. You take two things you're comparing, in this case two songs, you compare them to something that is completely unrelated, and you weave them together. I don't know if that made sense. I'm just gonna move on with the video because I don't know what I'm doing. I never do. With Demons, oh my god. Okay, there was a lot to analyze in this song. I kind of like how I thought of gold when I heard the first part of the song. Honestly, like, in the saints we see are all made of gold, and the ones we hail are the worst of all. I kind of thought of it like, oh, we're hailing the demons, we're bowing down to them, but they're not really real. It's kind of all in our head, you know? Kind of like how everything you touch turns to gold. It's not really real anymore. Kind of goes with Smoke and Mirrors, how nothing's what it seems. Different album, but those are connections that I found in it. The other thing, where it says, I want to hide the truth. I want to shelter you, but with the beast inside, there's nowhere we can hide. Okay, what is the truth that they speak of here? And when I say they, I mean the protagonist or the main character, who is actually the lead singer, who is Dan Reynolds. So when I say protagonist or main character, that's who I'm referencing to. First of all, the truth, and yes, I have laptop notes again, like usual. The truth is that he has demons in the first place. And he's trying to hide the fact that they're there, but it's becoming quite difficult. The one thing that's confusing, it says there's nowhere we can hide. Who the hell is we? Really, who is we? Now, this song is pretty unifying, because when they say we, it could be the demons and the protagonist, like there's nowhere we can hide, or it could be more unifying, like, okay, there's nowhere we can all hide because we all have demons. We can't hide from this. And I kind of like how it's open to interpretation. What else did I find here? Oh yeah, another thing. It's explicitly stated that the beast is a separate entity. And when I mean the beast, I mean the demons. Just keep that in mind later throughout the video. Now I'm going to switch over to Monster to see what I said about that song. Now it says, ever since I can remember, everything inside of me just wanted to fit in. I was never one for pretenders, everything I tried to be just wouldn't settle in. So it makes it sound like this monster has been a problem since day one. And when they say just wanted to fit in, I'm kind of curious. Do they mean they want to keep the monster contained within themselves? Or are they trying to fit in with the crowd? I'm not sure. I mean, you could argue, oh, well, they just want to fit in with the crowd. That's the obvious answer, but you really don't know for sure. You really don't know. Also, the song seems like part of it's in past tense. The beginning, the first couple lines, kind of like they're referencing to an older version of himself. Just something I wanted to make note of. Everything I touch isn't dark enough, that this problem lies in me. That's another part from the song. And then I thought of the song Gold again, how everything you touch turns to gold, and I can't help it. It just keeps coming in my head. Also, the problem lies inside the protagonist. But is it a part of him? And you're probably confused. Like, wait, what are you talking about? It's inside of him. Is it... What the hell? What? Okay. Okay. There's a difference between being possessed by a demon and becoming one, or a monster, or a creature, or a beast, or whatever you want to say. I don't know. Maybe you'll become an effing unicorn. When I did my video on Blue Exorcists, me and Marmar 101, we mentioned that there's a huge debate about whether or not a certain character is possessed by a demon or is actually a demon himself and gaining his powers. It's pretty complicated when you think about it. Long story short, the person being possessed is referenced to as a vessel. In this case, the protagonist, or the lead singer Dan Reynolds, not literally, but figuratively, he is the vessel being consumed by demons or a monster. In demons, it's pretty easy to tell that it's a separate entity. It's not part of him, it's just there. Throughout the song Demons, there are points where you can say, it's where my demons hide. They're separate. They hide inside of me. They're not actually me. I'm still a separate person from these demons. In Monster, there are 5 lines that stood out to me. That this problem lies in me. I'm taking a stand to escape what's inside me. Separate entity. But then another part of the song, it says, I've turned into a monster. This burden came to me and it's made its home inside. There's a difference between having a monster in you and actually becoming a monster. And Monster does kind of this double play with becoming one and having one in you, which is interesting. Demons doesn't really do that, which kind of blows my mind about Monsters. I kind of call Monster Demons 2.0 because it goes that extra step deeper that Demons doesn't really take. Basically, it's not just about the demons, it's about what happens when we become the demons or the monster, and it tells us about the things we do, the actions we take when this happens. Demons is like, okay, we're struggling here, and this is a separate part of me, but it's still there. Monster is more like, okay, I'm far gone, and this demon or monster has taken over so much that I'm literally becoming it. That's what makes Monster a lot darker than Demons. Not just the way it sounds, but just the idea of it. The idea of becoming something else. Or someone else. However you want to look at it. When I go back to Demons, where it says, no matter what we breed, we are still made of greed. This is my kingdom come, this is my kingdom come. I notice how he used the word we, once again, instead of saying I or me. Meaning, Demons is, this is what blew my mind about Demons. It is unifying. Just beautiful. I love it. And that's one thing that's better about Demons and Monster. I think most of us pretty much noticed this right off the cuff, but this is kind of going deeper into it. It brings us all together, no matter what we breed. This is another way of saying, and this is what I thought in my mind, it doesn't matter what we create or what we do, or in a more biological sense, it doesn't matter what our children would do or what the next generations will do, because you know what we breed, you know, kids and stuff, birds and the bees, you know what I mean. I guess it's inevitable that the demons will possess all of us, no matter what. No one gets a free pass out of it, and I guess that's what makes us human. And this reminded me of the song Round and Round, which is a bonus track from Night Visions, same album with Demons. And there are lines from Round and Round that pretty much tie it in with Demons. It says, we are a part of the same play. The same play. We think we're making our own way, our own way. We are all living the same way, the same way. We are escaping the same way, the same way. That is kind of repetitive now that I think about it. Never catch it when I actually hear it. Basically, we're all fighting the same battle and we're all possessed by demons. Even though the protagonist is fighting on his own, he knows that he's not alone because he knows there are other people who have been in his shoes. Keep that in mind for later in the video. And now I'm screwing up my hair with a pen, but oh well. Hand gestures work. Okay. That's one thing about demons that makes it uplifting and unifying. There's another part where it says, at the curtain's call, it's the last of all, when the lights fade out, all the sinners crawl. At the curtain's call. What? Interesting. When people are about to take a bow and the lights are out. I guess I imagine that everyone's an actor, and they're acting, they're trying to hide the demons, but once those curtains come down, the real shit happens, and shit gets real. Kind of like that episode of How I Met Your Mother, nothing good ever happens after 2 a.m. I guess that's what it's like when the curtains come down. Nothing good happens once those curtains go down, because that's when the real shit happens. Those demons come out, man. Another thing that I really liked right after that in the same song, so they dug your grave and the masquerade will come calling out the mess you made. The masquerade, is it a ball? I've always wanted to go to the masquerade. I've always wanted to go to masquerade and have a cool ass mask, and I want to do that. That'd be a good wedding theme. Or a good party theme in general. Sorry, brain tangent. Anyways, everyone's wearing a mask and hiding their demons, but eventually the demons will nag on you for trying to ignore them. The demons are like, really, man? Really? This is how you treat us? You act like we don't even exist, but we do. We always have, and we always will. And that got dark, and I got way too close to the camera. I'm so sorry. You're probably really awkward right now. You're probably like, what the hell is she doing? Trying to jump out of the screen. That'd be creepy. That's interesting because the demons, it's hinted that the demons would actually fight back. They actually have their own self-awareness. I know that sounds out there, but when you think about it, who will call coming out the mess you made? I mean, that either means karma, your baggage will come and get you in the end, you can't escape from it, balling up emotions will come back and haunt you, I mean, or demons are literally getting on you about it. It's pretty interesting. Okay. Another thing. Don't want to let you down, but I'm hell bound. Though this is all for you, don't want to hide the truth. I love this part. Who is you? Once again, who is you? Perhaps the you is someone close to the protagonist, like a loved one, friend, family relative. Hell, maybe even one of the band members, huh? No, maybe not. I don't know. I'm only saying this because of my own experience with demons, so all this might be kind of biased, but it is how I see it. Here's my theory, and this is kind of what I wrote. He wants to hide his demons because he's ashamed of himself, and he doesn't want to be a burden on other people. Think about it. Most people refuse to share negative emotions because they're afraid that they might hurt other people, or confuse other people, or just worry them way too much. Or maybe he's just fighting the demons so he can survive. There is a shift in the song where it says don't want to hide the truth. Well, there goes first theory. At this point in the story or the song, the protagonist is willing to open up about his demons, and that's kind of the shift where things kind of change a little bit. It's for the best, it's the best for him, it's the best for his loved ones. And in my mind, it's kind of like this. Like, this is what the protagonist might be thinking, or at least it's something similar to what he's thinking. I'm sorry that you have to hear this, and I know this isn't easy for you to process, but these demons are controlling me. They're pulling the strings, and I can't hide it anymore. I'm telling you because you need to know. I'm doing this for you. That's what I was thinking, that he would be thinking. Yeah. I need to tell you. I don't want to, but I need to. I'm doing this for you. I'm fighting this battle for you. I'm fighting these demons for you. And to me, that's a very uplifting part of demons. I'm gonna go back to Monster now. And it's gonna be different. A little different. There's one part of Monsters where it says, can I clear my conscience if I'm different from the rest? This is definitely not the same as Demons or Round and Round. With Monster, it seems like the main character is completely like far gone and completely isolated and separated from everyone. Which is another reason why I think it's more applicable to the Boy and the Beast, because two main characters are completely alone, isolated, and stubborn, and lonely. Just thinking out loud. You gotta watch the movie though, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. I'm not like that. Unless I warn you, then obviously I'll tell you everything, but I won't. Okay. It seems like he's fighting on his own, but he doesn't... In Demons, he's fighting on his own, but he remembers that other people around him are dealing with the same thing. With Monster, it's darker because it seems like he's the chosen one. Have you ever seen movies and TV shows where there's the chosen one with some special gift, you know? And they feel like they're isolated from everyone because they're like the one, you know? This is like that, but it's more negative. Like it seems like he's the only one struggling with this monster, the only one who is a monster, and everyone around him is totally fine, and he's the only one who's really struggling. Unlike Demons, where it's more unifying. And that's the thing that makes this song kind of dark. Especially when you compare Night Visions to Smoke and Mirrors. And then it involves a whole nother story, but I'm not going to go into that right now. So, another part, it says, I'm only a man with a candle to guide me. I'm only a man with a candle to guide me. That reminds me of these lines from the song Trouble. I'm just a man on a mission. I probably screwed that up, but I'm so sorry. Basically, this reminded me of the song Trouble because it's kind of like, okay, I'm on a mission, I'm trying to figure this out. I'm trying to figure out what's this mission that he keeps speaking of on the album. I guess maybe it's finding himself. I don't know. It sounds like a coming of age kind of thing. When they say I'm just a man with a candle to guide me, it's more like he's on his own in the dark with only a little light to get by. Like, I barely have anything left just to get out of this place. And that also connected a lot with Boy and the Beast. I'm gonna reference that a lot in this video. Can I clear my conscience? I guess what he's trying to say is that he's so separated from everyone, he's not sure if he can even make good choices, which kind of makes sense, especially if you like study communication ethics, which is a class I have right now. And there are multiple concepts and theories that state that we are affected by people around us. There's no way we could survive on our own. Everyone around us, they're a part of who we are. And I feel like in Monster, since he's isolated from everyone, he doesn't really have a sense of self anymore. And he can't really make more decisions anymore. Compared to Demons, where he's suffering, but he knows he's not alone. So those are things that make it kind of different and kind of dark, now that I think about it. I go back to Demons now. And basically, I got confused towards the end of Demons. I feel like Demons is not as repetitive as Monster. That was a weird sound. Basically, and this is basically the last 50 seconds of the song where shit gets pretty, where the shift continues and shit gets real. And I love the last 50 seconds. They say it's what you make. I say it's up to fate. It's woven in my soul. I need to let you go. Who is you? Once again, I'm asking this question. Who does he need to let go of? Okay. When he says you, once again, it could be a loved one or the demons themselves. Maybe he needs to let go of someone he was close to. Maybe he needs to learn to fight his demons on his own without that person. Or maybe the you is the demons. Like maybe he just needs to let go of the demons and he needs to really take control of his life. This is open to interpretation, obviously. The other part, your eyes they shine so bright. I want to save that light. I can't escape this now unless you show me how. Whose eyes are shining so bright? Okay, it sounds like in this scenario it's a little more obvious that he might be talking to a loved one. But when I looked over it a second time, I realized it could be another version of himself, like an older version, like a younger version who wasn't controlled by demons. Like, oh, I see the light of my old self who once had so much strength and wasn't dealing with this stuff. I want to save that part of me. Honestly. Or it could be more like, oh, I want to save the light of people around me so I can really be there for them instead of hiding all this from them. Open to interpretation. There's no black or white, yes or no to this. And if I go back to Monster, oh god, so many words. Oh, one thing I forgot about Monster. Basically, there's an evolution with the monster. So, what it is that the creature actually evolves, and no, I'm not making a pun. I actually wrote that without trying to make a reference. This is not a pun referencing to their album Evolve. Damn it, it happened. Okay. Anyways, in this song, we can tell that the monster has more control of him every single day. And this is kind of scary. And it seems like the monster has been around from day one. So, if the monster is already this powerful, how powerful will it be in the long run? Or in other words, if things are already fucked up, how worse can they get? You know that term, oh, things can't get any worse. You hear that in every cartoon. Next scene, things get way worse. That is the feeling I get with this song, and it's scary. Like, if he's already far gone and completely isolated, how worse can it get? That's insane. Plot twist time, everyone. Cliffhangers. Oh my god. There's one part, though, that's uplifting. I'm taking a stand to escape what's inside me. Boom. There you go. Pixie dust. There's the positivity in this song. Oh my god, all you need is a little glitter to make everything better in life. I really do believe that. Just when things can't get any worse, he decides it's time to take control of the monster, even though he's become the monster. That is beautiful. Truly beautiful, because at that point you think things are pretty much hopeless. But even then, there's still a little light at the end of the tunnel. And he has to do it on his own, which is different from demons where, yo, come help me out, get me out of this hole. This is more like, okay, there's no one here to get me out and I gotta do this shit on my own. That's a big difference between these songs. It's kind of like, okay, even though he's far gone, he can still get back home. He has just enough sanity left to fight against the monster. It isn't much, but he'll have to do. Basically, that makes it darker. And what I wrote here was, I will admit that the protagonist is likely to put up a fight in Monster, but why? If he's already far gone, how is he able to continue fighting? And then I realized it's pretty simple. He has nothing to lose. Never mess with a man who has nothing to lose. Or woman. I don't know. I memorized the quote with the word man in it, so don't attack me. Oh, you're sexist. It's just the saying that my dad says, never mess with a man who has nothing to lose. If he has nothing to lose, he'll keep on fighting. And that's something that I think is beautiful about Monster. Now, for my final thoughts, because this is a long video, I know it is. I'm looking at the clock on here and I'm like, ooh, it's gonna be longer than I wanted. Demons is more complex in terms of who the protagonist is talking to. Monster is more complex in figuring out whether the creature is a separate entity. Like I said, difference between being possessed by something and becoming it after being possessed so long. Huge difference. Demons is not repetitive like Monster, but Monster is darker because it focuses on isolation, and it's from Smoke and Mirrors, which some of you would know is darker than Night Visions, and especially darker than Evolve. Monster goes a step deeper and shows us that the character evolves, and it shows us how dangerous we can be when we get to that point of possession. But then Demons is unifying. Both songs suggest that the character is willing to put up a fight, which is great, but I feel Monster has more grit than Demons, which can be good or bad depending on how you see it. In the song Demons, we see that our hero is trying to reach out to others for help, but in Monsters, our hero is a lone wolf who has to summon the strength on his own. So there are two main things here. Demons, and that's, what do I call it? The power of unity. But with Monster, it's the power of one. And yes, I've read the book, if you know what I'm talking about. If you want to figure out which song is better, you have to figure out which one you prefer. Do you prefer the power of people sticking together, or the power of finding strength from within yourself and being independent? It depends on what you really prefer. If that's one way of looking at it when comparing the songs. Initially, before this video, I preferred Monster over Demons by just a little bit. Just a little bit. Maybe because it was darker. I think that was one thing that kind of... Also, it wasn't a hit, so I didn't hear it as much. So it was kind of like, oh, this is refreshing. And it took that extra steep... Not steep. Oh, crap. Extra step deeper. But after doing this video, I concluded that I choose Demons over Monster. You're probably not surprised at all by that. You're probably like, really? That's obvious. That's a hit song. Why the hell would you not choose it? And it's fucking Demons. Now, if you're comparing like Radioactive or something, that's a whole nother, or if you're comparing whole albums, whole nother ballpark. Anyways, now let me give you my reasons for choosing Demons over Monster in this scenario. It's because it connected with more songs. When I did my notes, I noticed that Demons connected with more songs by the same artist. Meanwhile, Monster kind of connected with other songs like Smoke and Mirrors, Trouble, etc., etc., etc. And Demons connected with like Round and Round, and even a little bit with Gold, a little bit. But Demons was more open to interpretation in multiple parts of the song, where Monster it's a little more clear cut, a little bit. So I chose Demons. I will admit, both songs are amazing. I highly recommend you listen to both of them. It's an amazing band in general. So yeah, that's it. I chose Demons. This was a hard video, and it's my first video in a long time. Hopefully I wasn't too out of it. And I'm really rusty. Anyways, that is all, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side.